What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy, joined by the birthday boy, Dan Allen Rourke. Dan, how are we doing on this fine day?
Doing good. First order of business, excuse the hat, having a little bit of a tough hair day, but also shout out to the hat, Foco. It's dope. Listen, man, Yanks dropped 2 out of 3 against the Orioles. That absolutely sucks. We're going to dissect it. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. With that said, though, I ain't getting into any doomsday vibes with this. It's just one of those things you chalk up as a loss. It absolutely blows. We're going to talk about it and then on to the next one. But yeah, dude, 23 years old. Thankful for another year, I guess. I don't know. I'm chilling, dude. How you
Yeah. Dude,
doing?
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, vibes are high. It's like, sure, the Yankees lost 2 out of 3 of the Orioles, but we're not going to let that bring this episode down because, dude, it's your birthday. We're going to the game tonight. It's
Memorial
Memorial
Day
Day
weekend.
weekend. Bro, vibes are high. Don't care what anyone thinks. Before we get into the show, use code Yankees Avenue at FOCO, save 15% off your order. Get that beautiful hat that Dan's wearing. We'll show you guys some other stuff later in the episode. But to get into topic number one, I guess we address the elephant in the room of this episode, and that is that the Yankees lost 2 out of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles. Two games that were really exciting, and then the final game was kind of just a disaster. But what is the biggest concern that you're taking away from this Baltimore Orioles series?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things you can go with. One we'll talk about later, but Anthony Volpe, a couple of his errors, definitely a little bit concerning. The bullpen is just totally not even just taxed and brutally injured. Looking forward to Tommy Kane's return because our depth there is really taking a hit. But for me, what stands out the most is Nestor Cortez, dude, and not totally something I'm gonna criticize him on, but it's something that's definitely becoming a problem, and that's his third time through the order. I have some stats I want to go through, but pretty much, yeah, Nestor's inability to go deep into games. So last year, first time through, 496 OPS. This year, first time through, 524 OPS. Last year, second time through, 621 OPS. This year, second time through, 630 OPS. Through two times through, pretty similar on par with last year, right? This is where it gets different. Last year, third time through, just a 531 OPS. So he was still pitching good 3 times through. This year, though, 1.548 OPS third time through the order. And for those not too familiar with the OPS stat, that's if Aaron Judge hit like 75 home runs last year. That's how what a 1.5 OPS would be. He's been horrible 3 times through. And what I'm kind of realizing with Nestor is not that, no, he's not the meatball he was before 2021, but he might just be a solid number 4 starter, a solid starter that can give you 6 innings, no more. And in a way, that is kind of a problem. Without Rodon, without having, Sevy for most of the year, of course, now he's back. Nestor's been our number 2 starter, and he hasn't pitched that way. So while I'm glad to see him pitch well through 6, it is kind of a concern that he might just be a number 4 starter.
Yeah, it's definitely a concern at this point, but I think we kind of have to settle with the fact that, maybe Nestor is kind of just a guy who faces the order 2 times through, and then that's that. But it's kind of weird to me that the Yankees haven't seemed to accept that fact yet, right? Like the fact that he was even in that game on, when was that, Wednesday night? To face the order a third time through and kind of blow the game out of proportions is weird to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like we realize this and we have the numbers to see after the second time through, he completely collapses. The fact that the Yankees haven't realized this, or if they have realized it, they just want to get maybe a larger sample size of these statistics from this season. It's just weird to me, bro. Like, I don't think that there was any scenario where he should have been in that game in that situation. But also on the flip side, I get it. It's like, you're in the game in that situation. Just make your pitches. So I get both sides of the argument, but yeah, I'm definitely concerned about Nestor. But I wouldn't say that's my biggest concern from this series. I would say the biggest concern from this series is kind of it was a realization for me just in terms of the Baltimore Orioles have caught up very, very quickly to the top of the American League East. Like we were looking at a team that was basically a punching bag for years, as recently as 2021 maybe.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a team that, bro, you can easily say that they might be a better team than the New York Yankees. You look at their offense; they're very deep as far as their lineup goes. Their pitching isn't great, but in the Yankees' current injury state, and also Nestor not pitching well. I mean, the Yankees' pitching isn't too great either. They have 2 awesome relievers at the back of their bullpen with Cano and Batista. The Baltimore Orioles have caught up very quickly to the New York Yankees, and I think that's a big concern for me because we're looking at a team now that is going to be a tough play every single time we play them. And it's just upsetting that like the Yankees haven't really like done they haven't done anything to like push themselves past the Orioles to make sure that this didn't happen so quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say I think they're definitely on equivalent levels right now. And like you mentioned, I think that's because of some of the injuries the Yankees have. Because full on roster on paper, let's just say what we dream of going into October, I actually don't think it's close because of the pitching. The Orioles lineup is good. Their pitching, starting pitching wise, nothing special. I understand Kyle Gibson just shut us out, but he's pretty much their best starter. If they were to have an ALDS game one tomorrow, he's their number one. So if you were like compare on paper each team side by side, like what the true talent is, everybody healthy, I don't think it's close. But bottom line is we're 4 games back now from the Orioles. They're, like you said, a legitimate threat in this race and a team we're going to have to take seriously. And just in general, dude, I know we've talked about it, but the AL East is insane. I take pride in it almost because the fact that the competition we do have to go through, but the Blue Jays just dropped down to last place and they're still 5 or 6 games over 500. So, I mean, dude, all these teams are legit. Even the Red Sox, who we haven't even seen the Red Sox just yet. But yeah, man, one more thing on Nestor too. I want to say, I don't actually have a problem with the Yankees. I think it made sense in that situation to bring him out for the 7th. He was only at 77 pitches. Bullpen, like I said, was very taxed. Made sense for him to start that. Unfortunate the way it finished. I look at it more so as not something I'm blaming the Yankees for, but something you take going forward. You mentioned the sample
Yeah.
size. To me, it's all right. Now you kind of do have the sample size. That was an excuse as soon as, or as recent as literally yesterday, Wednesday. Made sense starting them, but going forward, you kind of have to understand, all right, no, if you start Nestor third time through, which, hey, to his credit, he was able to get a couple batters out. I mean, he got Rushman out. He got, I think it was Anthony Santander or somebody else early on in the order. He was able to get a couple batters third time through. But going forward, I would just kind of proceed with caution with that. But yeah, man, it's also, too, it's not anything I'm like, generally speaking with the series, once again, this isn't doomsday vibes for me. It's just you lost a series. It sucked. And it really sucks because it was a winnable series. I mean,
Yeah.
we win the first game. We're up 5-1 in the 7th inning of game 2. We're thinking, all right, we're sitting pretty, maybe even sweep, end up dropping 2 out of 3. Sucks. But I don't know. As we close at this topic, I'm just going to emphasize like new series tomorrow. Like, let's get at it. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the series against the Padres is going to be big. If you lose the series against the Padres, a struggling Padres team, I'm going to be upset. I'll
Right.
then I might be like back hitting the doomsday button because then that won't be ideal. But
Sure. And also, too, some people are saying, like, oh, Yankees face a good team, and of course they lose. It's like, all right, relax. The Yankees have looked really good. And as much as I shit on them, the Blue Jays are technically a good team.
there,
Still, technically one of the better teams in the American League, and we looked phenomenal against them. So I don't think we
yeah,
should start any of that crap. It just, we lost a series, and it sucks.
yeah, no, I agree. Getting into topic number 2, though. Speaking of the Yankees' kind of lackluster performance as of late, they have 2 bats potentially returning soon in Giancarlo Stanton and Josh Donaldson. And now that kind of makes us look at the current day Yankees roster. And bro, we have to pose the question now: which 2 players go down as corresponding roster moves? I'll give you my 2 first that I kind of want to just see given the boot. One, I'm sorry, Dan.
Let's
Jake
do one at a
Bauers.
time. Okay,
Jake Bauers has got to
fair.
go.
Yeah, so I'm with you actually on that. So I'll pull up the active roster before to really do a full crunch on what I want. And while yes, I'm a big fan of Jake Bauers, I do think that's probably the move. Now it's really between him or Willie Calhoun, and they're essentially both DHs. Because with Bauers, and this is something I didn't consider when he was hyping up like crazy, he just flat out can't play defense. And pretty much the same deal with Willie Calhoun. So you're looking at 2 DHs, and who's been hitting better lately? Willie Calhoun has been. Now on the flip side, though, Willie Calhoun does have options. You could send him down. Bauers, Yankees get rid of him, they're probably losing him because he doesn't have options. So that's something that's going to
Yeah.
probably weigh on their consideration. But yeah, I think Bauers is probably where I would go to. And then the next guy, I think we're in a definite agreement here. We both tweeted out tonight, Oswaldo Cabrera. I
Yeah.
love the dude. Got a great smile, and I'm sure he'll be a great ball player one day. He's still young. With that said, he's been horrible. Average is now, I think, also below 200, and his WAR is negative. His OPS is below 600, below 550. I mean, once again, love the dude, but he's just not been good. And he's young, could still use some more time at a seasoning at AAA. I don't think it'd be a bad thing for him to, get some more time down there.
Yeah, no, we're in lockstep with that one. Oswaldo Cabrera needs to be sent down. And my only fear is that the Yankees won't pull the trigger on that just for the sole purpose of like he feels like a big part of this team just because he has that personality. And I'm so nervous that they might like just keep him on board just for that sole purpose. They think maybe sending him down would be like a blow to the clubhouse or something. I don't know, but I feel like I'm not in the business of worrying about people's feelings and emotions. You know what I mean? And at some point, like this is a business. You know what I mean? Like the Yankees are trying to win games. They don't care about putting smiles on people's faces. So sure, Oswaldo Cabrera is a fun, energetic player with a great smile. Sure. But he's doing nothing to help the Yankees win games right now. And because of that, he needs to be sent down and work on his game in AAA. One guy, if they were to kind of like call up an outfielder from AAA, actually, bro, two guys. One, Cole Calhoun. He's raking in AAA. Maybe he gets a shot at some point. Also, I know everyone's being like, he sucks. He's gotten opportunities. Estevan Florial, he's been playing pretty well in AAA too. He's just one of those guys where I know he hasn't really shined at the major league level. I know a lot of people call him a quadruple A player, but I also don't think he's gotten his fair shot at the
He
big league
hasn't.
level. You know what I mean? Like we're looking at a guy who has 56 career at bats, and that's spread out
Scattered too.
between
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like he's up for 3 games, and then bro, they've treated Estevan Florial like he's a Scranton shuttle type player, and it's really annoying. And I think the fact that he gets pissed on because of that is annoying. So I definitely think that there's other options that they could go to in AAA. So there's no reason to keep Oswaldo Cabrera on the major league roster.
Well, with on that note, I mean, what's going to happen is it's just Stanton and Donaldson are coming back. So I mean, those are the players that are returning. You don't have to go anywhere else with it. I'll say on Florial, I'm not even a big Florial guy. Like I don't think I
Same.
don't think much of him. I don't, it's not like I'm saying, oh, you bring him up, he'll replicate what he's doing in AAA, which is insane. I mean, 34 games, 313 average, 11 homers, 1.052 OPS. I mean, he's insane. Slugging 619. He's conquered AAA. That much is clear. I don't think that much of him, but people who say he's gotten his fair shake in the majors, I think are just fooling themselves. I mean, he hasn't. Yeah, you mentioned the 54 plate appearances, but also, yeah, dude, it's been scattered as hell. He's never really has he ever had a full straight 2 weeks of getting everyday at bats in the big leagues? So I don't think anybody can like make a solidified statement like this dude can't hit in the big leagues. Like, no, we haven't really seen him be able to get a chance. Regardless, though, yeah, Waldo is a clear option to be sent down. And I don't even think it's a situation like we got to make all that big a deal. Like, because it's not like it makes sense
It's
why he
not a
could be
big deal.
struggling because, he's still 23 years old or 24, 23, 24. Like, this isn't the end of his tail in the Bronx, even this year, per se. I mean, he could go down, get some work. I mean, what really solidified it for me today, watching the series finale against Baltimore, was his last at bat. There was just such a hittable pitch high in the zone, a pitch that an MLB hitter typically would drive, right? Especially if they swing on it. And what does he do? He chops it to the right side. It seems like every time he comes up, he chops a ground ball to the right side. Just work on it. Go down to AAA. Maybe get called up back this year. If not, you're still young. There's time next year. But for right now, just not working out, Waldo. I love you, though, dude.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Before we get into topic number 3, though, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor,
Yeah.
FOCO. They have the best Yankees merchandise in the game. Dan, look at that beautiful hat. Look at this
It's
beautiful
nice, isn't it?
sign. Bang, whipping it out every damn episode. But yeah, use
I got
code
it too.
Yankees Avenue at checkout. Save 15% off your order. They have a bunch of cool bobbleheads. I don't know if you saw, they just dropped like a Peanuts collection where it's like Snoopy dressed up in Yankee gear. It's a bobblehead. Pre-order it.
You're playing Snoopy.
Yeah.
All right, Foco, Pat, you're the contact with them. We have to figure something out there.
No,
Because
I know,
my dog's name is Snoop Dogg, and I'm obsessed with
no
Snoopy.
way.
Yeah. Which speaking
Oh,
of,
nice.
also shout out Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's absolutely adorable. Screw it, I'll throw something up in the B-roll for you guys to see. Cutest dog of all time. We call her Snoop Dogg because like she gets into my mom's CBD. Now we just give it to her because it calms her down. But like she would just straight up get like high. It was hilarious. It's fine for dogs. It's actually good. Calms her down. But she would literally look like Snoop Dogg. Hilarious. Anyways, real quick. And then shout out, yes, Foco, code Yankees Avenue, 15% off. You see Judge playing with his dog on the field.
Bro, that was amazing. That made
That
my
was
night.
adorable.
Made my night,
it's a
bro.
cute ass, like that's a fresh pup.
No,
That has
it's
to
a nice
be-
dog.
It's young.
And
Like it's a cute, like definition of a cute ass puppy.
you know what I'll tell you? I love dogs with human names. Like the fact that dog's name is Gus. Oh,
And
my
they put it up
bro.
as Gus Judge too. That was funny as
dude.
hell.
Like next dog I get, I'm naming him like Billy Bob. Like, you know
Did
what I
you
mean?
have a
Like
dog growing up?
I had a couple dogs. They died.
No. I hope they live long lives though.
Yeah.
I had my dog Doy was alive through like she was like 15, typical dog stuff. But Snoop's young and in her prime, dude. She's like she's 3 years old. I was going off dog years almost, but she's 3 years old, dude. But yo, shout out Foco, code Yankees Avenue for 15% off. Guys, get yourself a hat. Should I wear this in the stadium tomorrow?
Tonight.
As in Friday.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We're already past that now. I've made a lot of mistakes with the today, tomorrow stuff.
But yeah, let's get into topic number 3, Dan. Let's talk about DJ LeMahieu and his slump real quick. He's been just 184 since May 10th. And you know what? That kind of goes
I'm
in
gonna
tandem
fuck you up.
with
I'm gonna fuck you up.
you know what
Because,
I'm
bro,
talking.
no, I know, because I was worried about this, that I do not want you to think that you can say, oh, I told you so. Because no, at the time when you said it, DJ was having a great year. He was playing well. Everything was going fine. It was a ridiculous comment by you, but you cursed the motherfucker. So since then, of course, he's like the worst DJ Mayhew we've seen in pinstripes. So no, Pat, don't take any pride in the fact that you ruined DJ LeMahieu.
No, I'm not saying I ruined him, but I mean the timing is just
It's
it's very
ironic, one
funny.
might say.
It's funny, one might say. But now that Josh Donaldson is almost healthy, and apparently when he's coming back, the Yankees are going to be playing him on a regular basis. Do you think that he will be providing a boost to that third base position that DJ LeMahieu has kind of just been clogging up for the past couple of
All
weeks?
right, you have to relax. He's all right. I already see what this is. DJ's becoming the new Brett Gardner. That's fine. You got to have a guy to pick on. I understand. Here's the thing with Donaldson that makes me excited, if you will, or where he'll provide value for the fact that DJ clearly cannot play every single day. Now, I don't know if what's going on with him right now is a health thing or if it's a fatigue thing. I don't know. I've actually complained quite a bit this season with how often they've given him days off.
Yeah,
But now, to me, it's starting to make sense. I think you're looking at DJ should be in the lineup 4, maybe 5 times a week. And then you spell him with, of course, Donaldson at third, which the defense, is going to be good. Just we'll see what he gets out of that. And then you also give him some DH days as well, because Stanton's, they're probably coming around the same time. Stanton's still going to play a little bit of the outfield. So, that being the case, DH spot will be open. You can get Donaldson in that way. The Yankees have said he's going to be an everyday player when he returns. So, yeah, I'm for the fact of gives DJ some time. The defense is good. And going back to something I've said a lot, it's nice still to get names back. And I do consider Josh Donaldson a name.
yeah,
And maybe, for like talking about the whole Oswaldo thing, like you could look at it as he's replacing his at bats almost. And I think I still would take, as much as you may hate on Donaldson, like, and you hate Bowers, right? You could talk about how bad he is. Like, Donaldson will be replacing the Bowers and Oswaldo at bats.
sure.
So with that said, like, no Yankee fan should be like upset about Donaldson now, especially in my head. I'm thinking if it doesn't work out, I can trust Hal Steinbrenner now to where I think he'll be willing to eat the money. So I don't think we're like stuck with Donaldson. So that's why I'm approaching this like, all right, show us what you got.
Yeah, no, this might be an insane thing to say for some people, but I'm excited for the return of Josh Donaldson because we're looking at a Yankees offense right now where it's like we have so many black holes in the bottom of the order. It's like, can it get worse, right? It's like I'm looking at Higgy at bats, Oswaldo at bats, Jake Bowers at bat, Jake Bowers batting leadoff some days. Whatever Josh Donaldson could provide, and if it's solid, I'll be happy with it, dude. And if he's playing good defense at third base, and DJ LeMahieu needs some more days off because he's dealing with whatever health issues he may be dealing with, I think it's awesome. So as long as he doesn't come back and bat like Aaron Hicks with like a sub 500 OPS, I'm here for the return of Josh Donaldson, 100%.
Yeah. Now I want to disagree with you on something. I don't think the offense is in a state where we describe it as it can't get worse because it's now improved. I think what is still true about the offense, despite looking better lately, outside of the game 3 against Baltimore, the bottom third is still what the issue is. And this is
Yes,
where Donaldson will likely go. I mean, you think about what the lineup might be. It probably like Donaldson comes back, assuming, with Stanton as well. He's probably batting like 7th or 8th. That's kind
uh,
of, I would think so. Cause I mean, think about it. Our lineup,
Donaldson's not batting 7 or 8.
well,
He's
here's the way
not.
I see it. If DJ, Donaldson, and Stan, let's just say, are in the lineup at the same time, you go, let's just say keep Glaber at the leadoff. Glaber, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Bader, DJ, Donaldson,
I think
or DJ,
Donaldson
Bader,
goes
Donaldson.
above Bader and DJ.
I maybe would have said that going into the year, but they batted him 4th in the series
I
finale
I'm
against
just
Baltimore.
saying they're paying the dude 25 million bucks. I can't see them batting him in the 8 hole. I
I
can't
don't
see
think the
that.
money's gonna buy. I mean, either way, I just don't think he's I don't think
Either
Yankee
way,
fans
they're
should be
not
like upset
counting on
about it.
him to
Like
be a
it,
cleanup guy.
right, yeah. Like I don't really have much expectations for Josh Donaldson, but I kind of do look forward to his return a little bit. I
Sure.
also want to speak of the lineup, because I've talked my shit about it, wasn't a fan about it at the time, still not totally sold. But Gleyber Torres out of leadoff spot, 13 games, 306 average, 937 OPS. So while I said I didn't like it, it is kind of working. Curious to see if that's something that sticks, maybe. Just as something we've talked about
Sure.
all season long. What's the alternative? in
Donaldson at
leadoff spot
leadoff. Remember, wasn't Donaldson the leadoff
opening
hitter?
day,
Yeah,
and he
that's
walked it off,
insane.
dude. He walked it
Yeah,
off on a
bro, we thought we
fake
were in
baseball
store
extra
for
innings.
that. Yeah,
I
okay.
know.
Yo, getting in topic number 4 here. I feel like this whole episode's just talking about like guys on offense who are struggling. But Anthony Volpe, he's been struggling offensively and I guess defensively a little bit too as of late. His average is now fallen below 200 if you're into batting average, which, bro, I mean, I'm not really one who relies on batting average, but when I see a guy fall below 200, like that's kind of significant to
Usually
me.
means, yeah,
Yeah.
not having a
So
great year.
I guess now we're kind of looking at Volpe. We have a pretty decent sample size. We're looking at his first 2 months as a major leaguer. Do you think that he could use any more time at AAA? And I feel like I kind of want to go first on this one just because
Go for
like
it.
I feel like I have like the Volpe hate in my history. And I'm going to say no. I don't think Anthony Volpe needs any more time in AAA. I think what we've seen from his struggles, I guess you could call them growing pains, but I don't know what benefit you would have for him going down to AAA, right? Like let's say you send him down to AAA. First of all, who becomes your shortstop at that point, right? Does IKF
Right.
become your starting
Yeah.
shortstop again, or do you call up Oswaldo and Oswald Peraza and hope
Mm.
that he does something? You don't have an automatic fill in, so no. And then also, it's like say he goes down and rakes in AAA. Is that just for him to build up his confidence and maybe call him back up and see if he does well? Is it going to be an up and down thing? I think the bottom line is that what we've seen from Volpe, whether people want to admit it or not, has not been what we expected coming into the season. He hasn't been performing at that ultimate high level that we thought he would. Sure, he's had some big hits. Sure, he's made some nice defensive plays. But I think while that's kind of what's been stuck in people's minds the most, I think the majority of the time, his at bats haven't been that good. And we've also seen like a bunch of defensive miscues. So with the good, there's definitely a good amount of bad. But I think in the long term, by the end of the season, his numbers aren't going to be what I thought they were. But I think he's still going to have a decent year and have a positive outlook going into 2024.
Yeah, I think that's all pretty much fair. I'll say though, as for expectations, well, if you were to say he's batting below 200 on May 26th and OPS is like 650 on May 26th, if you were to tell us that 2 months ago, we'd probably be like, all right, that's not exactly what we expected. But in terms of there being the highs and lows, I mean, it's exactly what we should all expect and continue to expect throughout the remainder of this year. And that's why they should stick with him. It's different when, what we're saying with us Waldo versus what we're talking about with Volpe. Volpe is a blue chip prospect, number 5 in all baseball, at least going to this year for a reason. So you stick with them. And it's not like this is anything really new for Volpe. I mean, shout out to my guy Earl on Twitter. He pointed this out. Volpe struggles when he first comes up to a new level. Go back to his first 200 bats in Double-A. He had just a 708 OPS. Then you look at what he finished with on the year. He finished with a 1.027 OPS. So he takes time to adjust. And this isn't nothing new. I mean, that's the same story we always heard about Aaron Judge. He did the exact same thing. Calls up to Double-A, struggles, picks it up. Same with Triple-A. Horrible at first, picks it up. And in MLB, how bad was Aaron Judge at first? Eventually picks it up. And no, I'm not saying that like, oh, Volpe's going to turn into Aaron Judge. But this is more often than not how it works out with prospects. Same thing happened with Julio Rodriguez last year. Also, Adley Rutschman. And we now know how good he's turned out. So it's not a situation where it means like, oh, he's going to turn into those guys. But it means you should expect this with prospects. It's far more likely, far more often where it happens that a top prospect struggles before they turn good than right out of the gate take off. I mean, how often do we see that happen? Very rarely ever. We saw it with what, Gary Sanchez? And then you see how that sometimes works out. It's just more so you do not judge based off the first 2 months. You got to stick this out with Volpe. There's going to be more lows. There's going to be more highs, hopefully more highs than lows. But this year is about, he's the one guy you kind of put to the side and like allow the development, you allow the mistakes because you got to stick with it. That's part of developing a prospect. So
sure. And this is what the Yankees count on, right? Like this is the reason that they pass on every single top free agent shortstop. I would say the only thing that's been a little bit annoying is like every time we think, all right, like Volpe has it figured out, like his at bats are looking good, he's putting together great at bats, he's getting hits, whatever. Then it seems like the next week, then it's like downhill. So it's been a little bit of a roller
I'll
coaster
tell
start
you
to the season.
what does genuinely bother me. There's only one thing, like if I were to be concerned about, the defense is now starting to become noticeable. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been
It's kind
good,
of like
has made
IKF level from last year a little bit.
not just yet because he's still making a lot of like the routine plays. Like I still feel confident when a ball's hit right at him. I mean, he turned some nice double plays by himself in the series finale against Baltimore. I just think some of the plays that he's missing now are like a little bit upsetting. because they've led also to big moments, so they're a little more noticeable. That has to be cleaned up. Besides that, though, I mean, let's be real. Volpe is still on pace to hit over 20 home runs. He's on pace to steal over 40 bases and have a WAR. Like, he's still on pace to have a 2.5 to 3 WAR. So I mean, while we're dealing with all these struggles and talking about this right now, there's still been a lot of good to look on and be like, all right, we can still get very excited about this guy. It's not like he's been like a total shit show. I would actually still say, I still might say like the good outweighs the bad. Like it might be like a 55-45.
What would be his grade right now for you? Because I know last time we did it, I think you gave him what, a B-?
I think so, yeah. And this is probably 3 weeks later. So I'll go just because the defense now, I'll go C+, which is just a little better than average. Which
I was gonna go C.
Yeah. Which, dude, highs and lows. It'll be fine. And hey, if a year from now we're having this conversation, it's totally different. But once again, it's May fucking 26th. Have a little bit of patience in general with it's a baseball season.
No, I agree.
Sometimes I got to tell you that, bro.
Yo, you want to get topic number 5?
I have no idea what it is. So can you tell me?
Topic number 5 is a surprise because, Dan, do you remember for my birthday, you did like a little thing at the end of the show? You're like, oh, happy birthday. Okay, I don't edit this show. So you know what I realized I have to do? Bro, for topic number 5, I'm singing you happy birthday a cappella version. And you're going to sit there and feel uncomfortable, and I don't care.
I'm so down to listen to this. But I also just want to say real quick on my thing, wasn't it almost more thoughtful the way I did it? Because I technically forgot. I promised Pat I'm going to sing happy birthday at the end of the show. I was like, holy shit, I totally forgot. And then I like recorded myself and edited it in. But yes, I am ready to hear your a cappella.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You are unbelievable.
Happy birthday to Dan Allen Rourke. Happy
birthday to me.
You. Or you're one. Or okay, we're too old for that now.
I fucking not only appreciate the song, but the fact that you turn your party lights on for me.
Yeah. No, I know.
I appreciate that, dude. You know, you're a good buddy.
And I brought back Mustache Pat just for you.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just for me or because I don't remember ever seeing you with a mustache before. So this is something fresh. I don't really know what the bringing back is. That's my thing. I've never seen you with a mustache.
No, I get it.
I'm working on the sideburns coming back. I got a nice fat pimple on my lip. That's my facial hair. Happy birthday to me. It's either that or fucking South America, dude. I don't know. It's quite large. Okay. What are you applying? What else would it be?
I don't know. No idea. No clue.
I sit in my room and watch baseball. I don't leave the house. What do you think it could possibly be? Which that's a lie because we're going to Yankee game tonight. As in Friday.
I'm excited.
Yo, anybody, if you happen to see me, like, if I'm like, say, working my game, because, I might have a few drinks, talking to some chicks, treat me like I am just like Michael Jordan. Please, I'm begging you. Just make me look cool.
Okay. Sure.
Started watching The Last Dance, by the way. Phenomenal. Have you seen?
Yes, I think I saw it when it came out. Pretty good.
Yeah. A few years ago and all, but I just started watching it, dude. Kind of on a basketball vibe all of a sudden.
Okay.
Is that weird to say on a baseball show? Well, that's
the lie. The Celtics are coming back from 3-0, bro? Because now it's 3-2.
Okay, I have no comment. I don't know shit about basketball. I was kind of half kidding with what I just said, but I'm curious. I want to know, would you want them to? Because part of me would like another team because, I'm pretty sure generally in sports, obviously baseball, we're the only ones to blow a 3-0. But I think in general, all 4 North American sports, it hasn't happened either. So
I think it's happened in the NBA before, but like a while ago.
Is that true?
I want to say like in like 2003.
NBA blown a 3-0
But yo, while you're looking that up, I do want to say this really funny narrative that I'm sure you saw. On game 4, when the Celtics were down 3-0, Jeter and A-Rod were both at the game, and it's kind of funny because like they were a part of the Yankees team that blew the 3-0 lead to the Red Sox. And
thanks for the explanation, Pat. We all fucking needed that. That was cool to see. No, and the NBA actually remains the only league that it hasn't happened in. I guess it's happened in the NHL, not too caught up in that world, but I would not mind it happening.
No, it's happened in the NBA. It
hasn't. Has there been any 3-0 comebacks in NBA history? No, okay, so they've come back to tie it. They've never won the series. So it looks like actually the Knicks 50-51 Knicks overcame a 3-0 deficit to force a game 7, but they lost to the Rochester Royals. So there's our basketball talk for today. That's our NBA Avenue show.
Pat and Dan show.
Um, I'll see you tomorrow, dude, or tonight.
Yeah, sure. See ya.
Okay, fine. I won't see you, dude. I'll hang
Okay.
out with somebody else. It's fine. Where can they
Why
find
would
you
you?
on
No, no, no.
socials,
Why
Pat?
would you say that?
Why would you say whatever you just said that pissed me off? I already
I
forgot what it was.
I don't know. My socials, TikTok and Twitter at Unhinged Patrick, Instagram at True Hennessy. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, bro. I'm back. Unhinged Patrick on YouTube. I'm streaming after the Yankees W's.
Pat is back. Why do I look like a freaking crackhead right now?
That's
Is this
fine.
how I always look? That's unfortunate. What am I wearing to the game?
I don't know. I'm wearing
I
my
wear
Foco
jeans.
button-down shirt though.
I don't. That's at my parents' house. Damn it! Damn it!
That
See you
didn't
guys
even
next
sound
time.
like you.
Hi, Marley. See you guys next time. Let's go, Yankees.
Her body's going like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we all fine, we all fine.